Renee Weaver, and I've lived in Scotts Mill for 10 years, and I love it here. I love this neighborhood for many reasons. One is that we have these wonderful sidewalks. We're able to move around the neighborhood by foot, riding our bikes. We have lots of families that come out and enjoy our recreational areas. We can walk to school. We have greenways. All these things are fantastic. But we can do even better than that. We can do something that brings our community together, teaches our children and grown-ups about sustainable living. How can we do this? We can have a neighborhood garden. With your support, it will be fantastic. I want to go through the vision with you, and hopefully you'll agree and support this project. Okay, I'm going to start by going through the proposal for the Scotts Mill Community Garden. Hopefully you all have a copy of this. First thing I want to go over is the location. The location of the garden is the northwest section of the recreational area behind our tennis and volleyball courts. The garden is proposed in 2 phases. Phase 1 is about 850 square feet and will be over here. And that's our vegetable garden. Phase 2 is our herb and sensory garden, and that'll be all through here. Phase 2, though, that's for 2018. Right now, we're going to focus on our vegetable garden. Okay. How this garden will work. We will have a garden committee. Hopefully I can be the chair of the garden committee. Beth Mullenberg would be the lead gardener, and then we would have a crew of volunteers. Many of our residents have expressed interest in supporting this and being part of the crew. So we don't think we're going to have any shortage of help. The number one thing with this garden is it is an organic garden, and we are going to employ as many sustainable practices as we can. We're going to use rain harvesting. We are going to use compost. We are not going to use any synthetic chemicals. The schedule of the garden is laid out in your proposal. However, that is subject to change based on when approval is given and so forth. The garden will be maintained on a schedule of 2 days a week, 2 hours each shift. Group of volunteers will come. We have several tasks that are outlined for what needs to be done at the garden on each shift. We will water the garden, we will prune it. We may have to have additional shifts to cover some of the turnover of the vegetables and other things. And this will be done on an as-needed basis, and we will likely call this the garden party. Harvesting will be done on Saturday mornings, and there'll be a table set up somewhere in this area where the vegetables and fruits and herbs will be available to all residents of Scotts Mill and the bungalows and the green and the whole area. The vegetables that we want to grow: tomatoes. We love tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes, all those good tomatoes. We want peppers, green peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers. We want hot peppers, maybe some jalapenos, some squash, zucchini. We'll also need to have some ornamental flowers in the mix in order to cross-pollinate. And we're gonna have some herbs too. Okay, let's talk about irrigation. As you can see, there's no place to hook up water here. And as I mentioned earlier, we will have a rain barrel. We'll do rain harvesting. The rain barrels will be up at the clubhouse. We're proposing to pump them to a temporary tank on the back of a pickup truck, and then we will drive them down here and water the lawn. So we'll go over that. I'll show you that in a bit. We think that we need about 265 gallons per week of water, and with the collection barrels we have proposed, we should be able to collect that.
A small, low-maintenance children's garden is also going to be proposed, where children will do all the work under adult supervision.
so here is where we propose to put our composting bin. Come with me. This is our bin. Scraps go in through the top. Of course, I think I'll need some training on how to open the top. Yeah, okay. Okay, I haven't really put it together yet, but scraps will go in the top. And then it'll be mixed up with some soil, and down below is where our compost will come up. It has a sliding door. The door would lift up and out would come our compost, and that compost will be used as a soil amendment for the garden. Okay, so I'm going to take you now through the rain harvesting process. Come with me. We envision 2 rain barrels set up on the left side of the clubhouse door and 2 on the right side. Let me take you to where we have one already staged. You can barely see it. Right in there is a 65-gallon rain barrel. It'll collect rain from the gutter spout coming down. There'll be a diverter on it, so when the rain barrel is full, it'll then divert to the natural gutter system. There will be 2 of these 65-gallon rain barrels set up in series. Let me take you to the other location now. Come with me. Don't step on it, just step in between. Okay, this is the other location right here, right behind these bushes. It'll be the same idea, 2 barrels set up in series with a rain spout diverter. And come with me. This is what we envision. Temporary tanks on a pickup truck will back up down this walkway, set up, and there will be, we will pump the barrels into the temporary tank and then drive them down for the watering. If you back up a bit and you look up at the roof, there's more than sufficient square footage up there for collection of the volume that's required. And you'll see within the proposal, in attachment A, you'll see the irrigation calculations, which shows that we will need 4 rain barrels to provide the necessary water on a weekly basis. We interviewed a few of the residents to see if there was support for this garden. And our first volunteer for an interview is Nina.
Hi, my name is Nina. I live in the townhouses over in Bungalow Park, and I feel like this is a great community.
How long have you lived here?
About 3.5 years.
Oh, that's great. So what do you think about having a community garden in the neighborhood?
As a nurse, I think that is extremely beneficial because we will be able to grow our own vegetables and have access to fresh vegetables and be able to just come and get them, and it would be very convenient. And I also grew up with a garden growing up. It teaches children a lot of responsibility, and you get to see something grow, which is very nurturing for families as well.
Oh, great. Thank you for your feedback. Would you be willing to participate in periodic garden maintenance or other events that we have? No commitment here. Just wondering, just trying to gauge if people would actually help us, you know, and dig or anything.
Sure,
Yeah?
sure. I'd come pull weeds.
That's great. Okay. Thank you, Nina. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Hi, I'm Renee, and I've lived here in Scotts Mill for 12 years, going on 13. These are my dogs, my husband. You want to ask some questions?
Oh, I do. Yes. Thank you. So we are looking for support of a neighborhood community garden. And I'd like to know what you think of that and if you would be supportive.
Sure, I think it's a great idea. Yeah. I don't know if I'd have a lot of time to give to it, but I would definitely give, like, if you're doing a fundraiser for plants or something like that, or materials, I totally would give to that.
Oh, that's great. We were considering that for partial funding of the garden. So thank you for that. So the garden will be an organic garden, and we're going to employ as many sustainable practices as we can, and then offer the fruits and vegetables and herbs, of course, at no charge to the residents.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or give it to a like a soup kitchen kind of like you know, food pantry kind of thing. That would be great because there a lot of those places don't get fresh vegetables or fruits.
Oh,
So
that's
it'd
a
be really
great
nice
idea.
to have that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. All right, well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Too.
The mission of the garden is to promote community interaction, build stronger relationships with our neighbors, and to teach children about sustainable practices in gardening. Thank you very much for your time and consideration of this proposal, and we all look forward to a positive response. I also want to thank my camera crew and Riley Rue Productions for all their support today.